Coast Cup in Auburn, California. Located on the Forest Hill Bridge over the pristine American River, it's the perfect setting for this annual base jumping competition. But this year, it's also the platform for another leap of faith, the world's first base jump wedding between Dennis McGlynn
Aloha, Dennis. Yahoo. Aloha, Brenda.
and Brenda Oldfield.
Thank you, handsome.
Dennis and Brenda met 10 years ago while skydiving. 6,000 jumps later, their decision to tie the knot with a ripcord seems like a natural. Dennis dons a traditional tux with a matching black chute. Brenda has made her own white satin outfit, complete with chin strap to keep her veil on during the 60-mile-per-hour fall.
Because it won't look very good if you land and get her.
I'm ready for a picture just of 3 people.
The best men and bridesmaids are also suited up so that they can see this ceremony through to the end.
Mama.
For the future in-laws, however, this choice of chapel has left them weak in the knees.
Yahoo, Mom.
Yeah.
Yahoo.
Okay. So you said
With the rehearsal dinner replaced with a rehearsal jump,
3, 2, 1, see ya!
it's time for this high-in-the-sky ceremony to begin.
Can you believe this is happening now?
With this ring, I thee wed.
Richer or poorer?
In sickness and in health.
That includes broken bones.
Why don't you 2 kiss and get off the bridge?
We ready?
With the vows and rings exchanged, there's only one step left for this couple, and that's 700 feet straight down.
I'm not nervous.
Yes. Go around the edge. On the edge. Good job like that.
Ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1, see ya!
Less than a minute later, Dennis and Brenda make their landings as man and wife.
Yeah! Come on, baby! Come on, baby! Don't ruin that gown!
As the champagne flows,
Best luck to you, Brenda. Dennis, congratulations. See you.
the rest of the wedding party follows in the newlyweds' footsteps.
I love you guys. Best wishes.
Right on. Why'd you do it?
Right on, Dennis and Brenda. I love you both. 3, 2, 1, see ya!
Congratulations, Dennis and Brenda. You guys are great.
Cool.
Congratulations! Congratulations.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
My sympathy, guys.
It's a wedding day everyone will remember. As hearts fly and parachutes pop, all in the name of love. Weddings can be simple or extravagant affairs, and sometimes the preparations for the big day can be bigger than the ceremony itself. Take David Lawrence and Jane Harland. They're about to have more on their minds than just remembering their vows. Jane and David have decided to throw caution to the wind by getting married on the wings of 3 vintage biplanes.
It was totally Dave's idea to get married on the wing. When he came home with the idea, I thought he was joking, and so I went along with it to keep him happy for the evening. And the more we talked about it, the more realistic it became. So we're actually going to go through with it.
The plan is to have the bride and groom strap themselves onto the wings of 2 separate planes. Then a minister will join them on the wing of a 3rd plane to perform the ceremony.
A little trepidation, I think it's fair to say, but sort of excited more than nervous, I think. So the adrenaline's just starting to pump there. So it should be a thrill.
Jane and David may be ready to take their love to new heights, but finding a minister to bless their marriage 1,500 feet above ground wasn't easy.
Hi.
Hi, Helen.
Welcome to Rincon.
Great, good to see you.
So, do you want to come and see an aeroplane, do you?
Please,
Okay,
yes.
we'll come into the hangar.
Okay.
I'll introduce you.
Okay, thanks very much.
Reverend Anthony Kelton volunteered to oversee the marriage, even though he suffers from a minor problem.
Desperately afraid of heights myself. Not too good. Go a little bit queasy, a little bit weak in the legs. It is the minister's job usually to calm the bride and the groom, but on this occasion I think I'm going to be looking for all the help I can get.
With the ceremony just hours away, the Reverend is offered a test run to help ease his anxiety.
How does that feel?
Great.
You lit the part.
I might
Are you
look the
ready?
part, I don't feel the part, I can tell you.
Once on the wing, the Reverend calms his nerves with some divine inspiration.
Nearer, my God, to thee.
Now it's time for Reverend Kelton to get closer to God.
How are you?
Amazing experience.
Did you like that?
Oh dear. I now know how the angels feel.
With the Reverend's trial run deemed a success, Jane can finish dressing. And while she's opted for the traditional wedding gown, underneath she's wearing thermal underwear to protect her from the wind. Finally, it's time for the big moment. And the bride, groom,
So just lean back a bit.
and Reverend all strap themselves into place. Propellers spin, and the wedding party heads for the clouds. Like the typical bride, Jane is running late for her own wedding. The pilots do their best to maneuver the three planes as close together as possible. Then, with everyone in place, the service begins.
Will you, Dave Lawrence, take Jane Harland as your wife?
I do.
Will you, Jane Harland, take Dave Lawrence as your husband?
I will.
The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace.
Some may say that Dave and Jane's marriage was made on a wing and a prayer. But no matter how you look at it, the couple definitely took the art of getting married to new heights. For Frank Roman and Stacy Sandry, there's no better place to say I do than the coral reefs surrounding the Florida Keys. This bride and groom's love of scuba diving and each other are about to be joined in a ceremony 35 feet below sea level.
It meant a lot to us. It meant a lot to our marriage. We love diving, and it's just the way we wanted it.
I couldn't do that. I would that's good.
Preparations for the big day begin on land with a cake, a bouquet, and an equipment check. On the way to the reef, the bride makes a final alteration to her wedding attire, stitching the veil to her diving mask. The groom dons a waterproof bow tie. Once anchored, the notary public who's to marry the couple is the first overboard. Then the bride takes the plunge. With her veil flowing behind her, the bride and groom proceed hand in hand down their aquatic aisle. There's no organist to accompany them, just the magic of one of the world's most beautiful settings, and a few wide-eyed spectators. For those without scuba certification, a glass-bottom boat provides a fisheye view of the entire ceremony. Unable to talk under the water, the couple use written vows on a dive slate. However, that doesn't stop them from sealing their marriage with a traditional kiss. Now husband and wife, it's time to head back to the surface for the reception.
I could do that public.
But the scuba diving doesn't end with the ceremony. Later, Frank and Stacy swim to their honeymoon suite, a room in the world's first underwater hotel, anchored in the gentle tides off Key Largo.
Oh, wow. Nice big.
The room comes complete with a VCR, champagne, and of course, ocean views. It's total immersion for these newlyweds, whose undersea wedding literally didn't leave a dry eye in the house. It's wedding day in the Bahamas for Scottish couple David Blades and Avriel Thompson. They've chosen these aqua blue waters for their ceremony because their best man and bridesmaids just happen to be dolphins. Having always loved these beautiful creatures, David and Avriel have arranged the world's first dolphin wedding. Preparations for the ceremony include a change into bathing suits. It's a little more casual, but the bride still wears white. Once in the water, David greets his best man, who steals a kiss from the bride.
We are gathered here together to join
Avriel is joined by one of her bridesmaids.
One held the ring.
The ring bearer performs his duties without a hitch. And the Reverend makes it official.
I now pronounce you husband and wife. Amen.
The couple seal their love with a kiss. With the ceremony over, the best man jumps for joy. The bride gets a lift from her attendants. And like all weddings, there's lots of kissing. Then the newlyweds are given a ride in the Caribbean version of a horse and buggy. Later, the couple return to dry land and dry clothes for cake and champagne. Finally, the dolphin trainers give them a last send-off. Then it's a wave goodbye as the newlyweds return to Scotland with a wedding album their friends may find hard to believe. When professional models Luca and Tazi met at a fashion show, it was a classic case of love at first sight.
Tazi was on the catwalk one day, and Luca was in the audience. She looked at him, he looked at her. She would hardly move on the catwalk, and yeah, obviously just fell in love.
But this was more than just a case of puppy love. Meet dog models Luca and Tazi, Afghan hounds whose careers have led them down an aisle of a different sort. Tazi's owner, Jill Atkinson, has been preparing for more than a year to make sure everything is perfect for her purebred's big day. She has designed and hand-stitched all the garments worn by the wedding party.
The bride is going to be in peach and white, a white trouser suit with diamante flowers, a very long diamante and pearl train, and then on top of that, her top coat is peach and white with lots and lots of flowers, which have taken simply hours and hours to sew on.
And what does the distinguished dog groom wear on his wedding day?
Something like this would be ideal. It's dramatic, as his name is, and it's gold and silver and black, which is masculine but very striking.
As preparations for these canine vows come to a close, People and pooches arrive to witness the event. Three bridesmaids, a maid of honor, and the perfectly primped pair make their way down the aisle to a waiting officiant.
Blessed are you, O Lord, who created the animals and gave us the ability to train them to help us in our work and play.
When all is said and sniffed, the bride and groom pose for pictures. Then they're whisked away to the reception in a limo that lives up to their pedigree. So what does the future hold for this well-bred pair?
A possibility of puppies, but not necessarily. I think they'll just stay in love for the rest of their lives.
He was one of Thailand's most eligible bachelors. News of his engagement spread like wildfire, with the press calling it the wedding of the year. Finally, the crowd of more than 100,000, including movie stars and local dignitaries, capture their first glimpse of the famous couple. Meet Mike, the orangutan, and his blushing bride, Susu. Mike is one of the most popular attractions at the local zoo, but the death of his previous mate inspired a nationwide search for a new partner. Today's wedding, the first public ceremony ever between two primates, is the brainchild of zoo officials. At a cost of $40,000, their hope is that it will increase public awareness about the endangered orangutan, as well as bolster tourism.
These two monkeys are going to be very popular around the world. The people of the city will be very proud. I want the world to know that they are getting married.
The day starts with the bride and groom being carried through town on decorated floats. For their safety, the animals are held in separate cages. This prevents them from standing in during their own nuptials, so plaster statues are used in their place. Then a traditional Thai ceremony is performed, complete with garlands draped over shoulders and scented water poured over hands. Mike and Susu's wedding proves so popular, 4 human couples decide to tie the knot at the same time. At last, the ceremony is complete. Mike and Susu are now officially joined in primate matrimony. Their honeymoon proves to be a hot and torrid affair. And the next year, Susu gives birth to a son named Mansit, which is Thai for joy. For the orangutan newlyweds and humans alike, it's cause for celebration. This I Do has helped secure the survival of the orangutan for another generation. We've seen dolphins dancing, Afghans at the altar, even simians saying I do. But who ever heard of mannequin matrimony?
Friends, we are gathered here today to join this mannequin and this woman in the bonds of matrimony.
For months, Alice and Ted have played out a mock engagement in the windows of a Rochester, New York snowmobile dealer. But with winter over, the store's manager has decided the couple should tie the knot.
It started with just bringing the Alice out just to kind of get a chuckle out of passers-by and draw some attention to our equipment.
Though Ken is hard-headed and Alice a little too plastic, it turns out they are made for each other, and a wedding was inevitable.
Ken the mannequin, will you take this woman as your wedded wife?
They may be stiff, but the newlyweds are loose enough to endure this time-honored tradition. The 100 people who attend the wedding bring gifts of food, but since Alice and Ken aren't big eaters, it's donated to charity. The wedding ends months of speculation. However, lingering questions remain, like, is there a prenuptial agreement?
None at all. Think of that.
And are the mannequins planning any additions to the family?
We're not sure what's going to happen this year, but there will be a saga. We're going to have a family.
All in attendance agree. It's a moving ceremony, but just barely. Every marriage begins with a proposal, but some are more creative than others.
Like 1,000 other dames that walked into Ray Chandler's life with the smell of honeysuckle on their lips and the scent of gunpowder in their hair, this one spelled trouble from the moment he laid eyes on her.
This murder mystery won't be playing at your local multiplex anytime soon. It's really a fake movie preview, written, produced, and directed by Roland Canamar. This is Roland's unique way of asking his girlfriend, Rebecca, to marry him.
Rebecca and I are extremely romantic, and we like the old classics. And I thought that this would be the perfect way to show her that I love her.
From the producers of Love Noir and Moonshine Express comes a frightening new drama of love and obsession.
Roland and Rebecca, dressed in 40s garb, watch the mock movie trailer unfold.
How come you're always asking me questions?
Because I have to have some answers before I can go on with my life.
Well, if answers are all you want, ask me the right question then.
As the story plays out, Rebecca begins to notice some striking similarities between her boyfriend and the detective on screen.
I would be thinking, yeah, that sounds like Roland, or that sounds like our relationship, or, yeah, Roland, ask the right question, or you're asking all the wrong questions.
Something tells me you had me figured out a long time ago.
All a man like you really needs is one true love in his life.
With friends and family carefully hidden in the audience, Roland can only hope that Rebecca's answer to his proposal will be yes.
I actually invited all the cast members, crew members, my family, her family, brothers and sisters. Everyone was there in the balcony, and my heart's pounding at this point.
For anyone who has ever wondered if they'd find true love, small packages will plunge your heart into madness.
I wasn't crazy till I met you. Now I'm crazy in love.
And I'm even crazier about you.
Detective Chandler is close to cracking his case, but Rebecca still doesn't have a clue what her boyfriend is up to.
Ask the right question.
Is he smart enough and strong enough to survive until he can learn the answer to the most important question of his life?
I was thinking, you know, Roland, I hope you're paying attention to this movie trailer, because this is the question you needed to ask. And so I was actually thinking about him at that time.
Don't miss Small Packages.
With the fake preview almost over, Roland pops the question for real on the silver screen.
Rebecca, I love you. Will you marry me?
And then I hear the question, I was completely stunned, shocked, didn't know what to say, didn't know what to do. And then Roland stood up, took my hand, he stood me up, and he asked again. And I said, yes, I will marry you. And lights go on, cheering, clapping. I think somebody actually in the background said, well, what'd she say?
What did she say?
Later, Roland and Rebecca play romantic leads in their real-life wedding production, with the cast from the movie trailer returning to the scene of the crime. Together, Roland and Rebecca look forward to producing more projects in the future. But this is one blockbuster that'll be hard to beat. Another one-of-a-kind proposal unfolds at New York's LaGuardia Airport.
Wait, that's for you.
Elena Clark is waiting for her boyfriend, Zachary McNeil, to disembark. What greets her instead are roses. From stranger after stranger after stranger. What Elena doesn't know is that Zachary has shown Elena's picture to the passengers on his flight. Then Zachary armed each person with a single red rose, all to help him pull off a truly romantic marriage proposal.
One more. Here you are.
Zachary even has photographers at the gate ready to capture Elena's reaction.
I'm so nervous.
One by one, the passion red roses keep on coming, and her beautiful bouquet blossoms.
Your arm's good for you?
Oh my God.
By now, Elena suspects that Zachary is behind this budding scheme.
I know he did. Oh my God. Wow, this is embarrassing. Oh my God. Scared. Everybody looking at me. I'm like this more.
Finally, the big moment arrives. Looks like this man in a uniform knows the way to a woman's heart. With planes and love taking off, this is one day when an airport has become a romantic destination.
Thank you for your help.
Get your morning started with us.
We have everything you need to know for the holidays, from food to entertainment to some things you haven't thought about yet.
And of course,
Terry Bowers and Frank Mitchell are hosts of the television show Good Morning Oklahoma. Their on-screen chemistry has carried them to the top of the ratings, causing more than a few viewers to think the two would make a great couple.
right now, Lynn Maroney of Bartlesville wrote in and said, "If you're not married, what's the matter with you?" She says, "Pick one. Are you a loud snorer?"
What their audience doesn't realize is that for the past 2.5 years, this pair has been secretly in love. But there's something else even Terry doesn't know. Frank wants to marry her, and he's decided to let the cat out of the bag today on live television. Frank begins his on-air proposal by reading some viewer mail.
Mogi says, "You two are so great together. You both seem to enjoy each other so much. I still say you should be dating." She says, "Frank, didn't you notice the cute little red dress Terry wore the first day you came back from vacation? Maybe she wanted to get your attention." Frank, think about it. With Terry, you might be letting a good one slip away. Well, we get a lot of questions like that, you see, and I think it's time we set the record straight.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead. What?
We're very close. We've worked together for 3.5, almost 4 years now.
4 years.
Yeah.
We got to know each other on the show. We've become very, very good friends. And go ahead, keep going.
And that should answer all the questions.
No, the truth of the matter is that we do have more going on than that. I think our viewers ought to know. Don't you?
Okay, then you explain it.
Well, I don't have to. I have a present for you.
Okay.
And that'll explain it all.
Oh my God, I can't believe you did this.
I would like to know if you will be my wife.
Oh, you did this on the air.
Yes,
oh my
I did.
God.
Joe, you need to get a shot of that, Joe.
Yes.
You know what you can do? The question is to Terry, will you marry me? But the answer, if you'd like to really torture our viewers, you can wait until tomorrow.
Yes, I said yes. Oh my God. I can't believe you did this on the air.
Well, I think we got to know each other on this show. Our viewers have been asking for years now, what's the story between you two? I think it's time that we let them in on it.
Oh, it's
in
gorgeous.
a big way.
Can I put it on?
Sure, hope it fits.
Making the big play has ended in success for Frank. But now the pressure's on. When you bring the world in on your marriage proposal, the world wants to know, when's the big day?
Well, I figure now I can go, another 3 years, and before I make my next move. Oh, well.
Maybe not.
Merry Christmas, sweetheart.
Will Layton is hoping his bright idea for a wedding proposal will light up Angie Hines' life. The Dallas, Texas man tells his girlfriend they've won a radio contest.
Thank you for entering your idea in the Best Romantic Evening Contest.
According to this bogus letter, their prize is a limo tour of local Christmas decorations. Angie doesn't know that one of the sites is not just a display of lights, but also a display of Will's love. For half an hour, the couple take in some of the most dazzling displays in town.
Look at that one. Oh, man.
Then they come upon Will's proposal in 4-foot-high illuminated letters. But it takes a moment for a light bulb to go on in Angie's head.
This says something. Will you marry me, Angie? Will you marry me, Angie, in life? Is that what it says? Oh my gosh.
Sweetheart, that's to you.
Oh.
Well?
Oh my God.
I take it that's a yes?
Oh my God.
Gotcha.
By turning on his love, Will has truly decorated Angie's life. And both of them vow that the feeling will never burn out. Catcher Brad Cutler's idea for a memorable proposal came out of left field. He signed up the minor league Duluth Dukes to help surprise girlfriend Leanne Chapman.
I wanted to make this something she'd never forget.
Brad's not really on the team. This is all a charade to surprise Leanne, who's been chosen to throw out the first pitch of the game. While Brad gets a case of the pregame jitters, he also gets a jersey, a pair of pants,
I hope so.
and even cleats,
You look like a ball player.
all in preparation for a game that will last a lifetime, marriage.
Oh, I'm nervous, but I love her. It's worth it.
No detail is left out, especially when it comes to protective gear.
Like this? Yes. Am I doing it right, Howie?
After all, Leanne may throw a wild pitch of her own. While the bride-to-be gets a few tips from the coaching staff, Brad gets a few pointers as well.
Give her a big target, yeah.
Now it's game time.
Good luck. Thanks.
And Leanne is on the pitcher's mound.
Anytime?
I got the ring in the back pocket.
But Brad almost ends up on injured reserve running to his position. Here comes Leanne's pitch. But Brad is ready with a pitch of his own.
Leanne, will you marry me?
You are creative.
With this romantic play, Brad and Leanne have raised Fan Appreciation Night to a whole new level. People say that love's a game, so why can't a wedding be a game show?
And, Karen, where are you, Karen?
Here I am, Judge.
Who is our first contestant?
Well, Judge, we have from Mar Vista, California, the lovely Wendy Miller and our Carl T. Wright.
For Wendy Miller and Carl T. Wright of Los Angeles, a quiz show themed ceremony seems only natural.
We both love television, and it's always been just part of our lives. I mean, I'm like a walking TV encyclopedia when it comes to certain shows.
It's kind of what brought us together, because we would recite different lines from TV shows, and she would know what it was, and I'd give a line from Blazing Saddles, and she'd know what it is. And I thought to myself, hey, this is good. This is good.
And tell me something about yourself.
I'm a housewife, and
Carl and Wendy know that for their matrimonial game show to be a hit, they need a glib host, and they found one in this Phil Donahue lookalike.
the game show host is a judge who is also a comedy writer, which it's not too easy to find a judge who is a comedy writer. I mean, this guy was legitimately marrying us. He wasn't just some actor.
How exactly did the two of you meet? When?
He was dating my friend.
Is that true?
Yeah, she's sitting over there.
The game works like this. Carl and Wendy must answer a series of questions. Each one is worth 10 points. If this quizzical couple can't earn 100 points, they threaten not to go through with the ceremony.
We played it straight. It was totally legitimate. I didn't know his answers. He didn't know my answers. It was really fun and a little bit scary because we really didn't know how it was going to turn out.
What one thing do you refuse to do even though you've been asked over and over again?
Close the cabinets.
Wendy says, close the cabinets!
Carl and Wendy start out with a couple of slam dunks, but their winning streak soon fizzles.
Name the movie title that best describes your love life. You go.
I said Best Friends.
Gone with the Wind.
Well, that's going with the 10 points, too. Wendy, what is Carl's favorite decadent snack? Ooh.
I'm going to say Screaming Yellow Zonkers. Come on!
The fact that we didn't do as well as we should have in this game show really surprised me, and I was actually starting to get a little perturbed because I thought, well, Wendy, you know the answer.
Where are we at?
We are still at 20.
Holding at 20.
The couple is close to blowing the game. Luckily, their last chance is a bonus question worth 100 points.
Okay, to both of you.
There was a chance that maybe the last question was a little bit rigged, just in case we weren't going to get it right.
Since you've been engaged, how many hours have you spent apart?
It is 812 hours, 46 minutes, and 9 seconds. I'm positive.
I said 812 hours, 46 minutes, 9 seconds!
This sudden reversal of fortune puts the couple over the top, and the happy winners can now move on to the real wedding game.
To have in the hold from this day forth.
I do.
After serious formalities,
You may now kiss
the ceremony turns wacky again with the serving of a TV set wedding cake. This game show wedding has turned the happy newlyweds into big winners.
Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it.
Lynette, Alabama, Christmas Eve, 1996. A handheld video camera rolls as officers pull over a driver for an illegal U-turn.
She has no idea what's going on.
Grace Baptista sits in the passenger seat, unaware that in a few minutes she'll be a married woman. Grace's fiancé, Officer Freddie Tyson, is hidden in one of the squad cars. Freddie's been engaged to his sweetheart for more than 18 months, and he's decided tonight's the night for an arresting wedding. It's not the traditional walk down the aisle. But Freddie greets her with a bouquet of roses. Now she knows what her future husband is up to. So at 12:01 on Christmas morning, it's a short walk to the town square to get hitched. Freddie has the whole ceremony planned out, complete with a garter, a justice of the peace, and friends and family who have been hiding in the bushes.
Dearly beloved, we're gathered here tonight in the sight of God and in the presence of these witnesses to join together Freddie and Grace in holy matrimony.
Grace's state of shock turns to tears of joy as the couple take their vows and exchange rings.
By the power vested in me by the state of Alabama, I now pronounce you man and wife, you may kiss the bride. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to present to you Mr. and Mrs. Freddie Tyson. Congratulations.
Yeah, buddy! With lights flashing and sirens blaring, the newlyweds make their getaway. Hopefully, this union will lead to a life sentence of love. With this famous cast of characters as your wedding party, it's easy to see that this ceremony is going to get loony. For one thing, these nuptials aren't being performed in a traditional church, but rather at the Six Flags amusement park in Gurnee, Illinois. And the festivities aren't for a single bride and groom. Instead, 100 couples, chosen from a radio contest, are looking to tie the knot.
We are gathered together to celebrate life and to celebrate your love for one another. I now ask our couples to please stand. Please face your partner.
First comes the exchange of vows. Not even the bad weather is enough to put a damper on everyone's spirits.
Gentlemen, will you take this woman to be your wife? If so, answer, I do.
Next, the 100 couples exchange rings. But the best part of this ceremony is yet to come.
May God bless you with peace and happiness always. Come with me now as we go to the Giant Drop.
The Giant Drop is the park's newest thrill ride. And this will be their final step into matrimony. Seated on the big drop, the blushing brides and grooms are hoisted 22 stories into the air. Then, with a final blessing over the PA system,
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may now take the ultimate plunge.
Couple after couple take this 3-second free fall into marital bliss at 62 miles per hour.
Whoa! My feet are up there yet.
As the last set of lovers land firmly on the ground, the ceremony comes to an end. It's a day to remember for these high-flung newlyweds. And may their lives together have fewer ups and downs. With more than 1,400 jumps between them, you might say that skydivers Lori Kilgore and Scott Gerke have really fallen for each other. Lori and Scott met and proposed while skydiving, so when it came time to choose a location for their wedding, they both agreed the sky is the limit.
Apart from the weddings that you might have in Vegas, this is one of the fastest ceremonies you can ever have.
This adventuresome couple decides to take their vows while free falling from 26,000 feet.
The whole freedom of skydiving was appropriate for the marriage because we did not want to have ourselves bound as if we were bound by balls and chains.
Scott, are you ready?
Yes! Awesome! I love you, Lori.
The ceremony begins on the ground. Instead of a wedding gown and tuxedo, the bride and groom wear custom-made jumpsuits.
We're gathered here today to witness a very special event in the lives of two very special people, Lori and Scott.
Before they take to the skies, Lori and Scott exchange wedding rings on terra firma.
All right, they're off to actually be married in free fall, so everybody wished him luck on the beginning of their greatest adventure.
An airplane carries the lovebirds and the wedding party to their chapel in the sky. Then Scott gives the signal to jump, and everyone joins hands and leaps from the plane. The wedding party is separated by 120-mile-per-hour winds. Without a moment to spare, the free-floating bride is rejoined by the best man and her groom. The maid of honor and minister complete the circle, and the vows commence.
At 120 miles an hour, you can't hear very well. And we had the minister just hand signals. He pointed at me, then pointed at Lori, and I shook my head. Yeah, I'd take her.
I take him. And everybody tracked away. We just were left there just kissing and kissing and kissing and kissing for a couple thousand feet.
At the last possible second, Lori and Scott deploy their parachutes.
I flew my canopy really close to Lori, and we're shouting at each other, going, yeah, I love you, I love you. And the ground gets closer and closer, and you come down to a nice soft landing.
Now they can enjoy their first landing together as husband and wife.
I stopped and turned, and there's Lori, and I didn't even care about my parachute. I just ran to her.
It was wonderful. That was one of the greatest moments, probably was the greatest moment of my entire life. As soon as we hugged each other, God, this is great. This was the greatest skydive ever. We've had a lot of great ones, too.
Yeah.
The daring Kilgores have proved one thing. Without a doubt, today, love is definitely in the air. For better or worse, in sickness and in health, till death do they part, the world of matrimony will never be the same. Apes and Afghans, free falls and movie halls, the rings, the kiss, and saying I do are the only thing these vexing vows have in common, other than, of course, love. Because today's newlyweds aren't content with starting their lives together in the same old-fashioned way. So forget the church aisles and in-laws' smiles. When it comes to rewriting the prayer books, few things are as wild and wonderful as the world's most outrageous weddings.